recognized symbol of excellence in sports entertainment.
Happy New Year, everybody, and welcome to the Kurt Angle Show. And now I want to introduce my co-host, Paul Bramwell. How you doing today, Paul?
I'm doing great, and as you can tell, Kurt's in a great mood, and we are ready to bring in the new year. As I said last week, we're going back to back with last week's episode, so we've just been sitting here. We had a great time last week. We're going right into this episode, and I can't wait, Kurt, because it's Ask Kurt Anything, and you know I love that.
It's my favorite. I love it.
I hope to make you
throw them at me.
I hope to make you uncomfortable, and that's my goal with all this, and make you squirm in your chair, maybe laugh a little bit. Did you got an extra layer of deodorant on for this one?
I smell something, man. It doesn't smell good. I just checked myself.
Let's check your pants. That's what I'm worried about. All right. Well, hey, we got New Year's obviously right around the corner. Kurt, any New Year's resolutions for you or goals for 2024 for Kurt Angle?
Be a better father and husband. The reason why I say that is because I really neglected my family all these years of pro wrestling. And when I finally quit or retired, I was still depressed. And it was about me. And for a long time, I was having a hard time handling retirement. But eventually I got over it. And I was like, you know what? You're in a different stage of your life now. Now it's time to be a father and a husband. And all this time, my wife and kids have been waiting for me. And here I am now. And now I'm making the commitment. I've been a better father and husband. And I want to continue to do that throughout the future.
And Kurt, I would dare say this has probably been some of the most enjoyable time of your entire life. And
it has, man. I've been taking my family everywhere, you know, to go see Santa Claus, to the Penguins game, to Steel City Con. Like, we're going on vacation to Miami, Florida after Christmas. It's, you know, just everything's family oriented right now.
Yeah. So as this show drops, Kurt and Giovanna and the kids will probably be on their way back. When do you get back from
January
Miami?
2nd.
Okay. So yeah. So you will still be down there.
You know why? We left Miami on the 31st of January. We were in the air at midnight.
Oh, in December, 31st of December.
Happy New Year, everyone.
So you're in the air from New Year's Eve.
Damn plane, and it's New Year.
Holy shit. That's pretty cool, though. I mean, that's the way to bring it in, man. That's the way to bring it in.
It was a boring New Year, but, you know.
Yeah, that's okay.
Doing nothing. Yeah.
So goal is be a better father, a better husband, a better podcast host. I think I heard you say co-host.
I failed that miserably.
Oh, okay. Well, I think that's a good goal for 2024. How can you be even nicer to your co-host on the Kurt Angle Show? So, Kurt, I have
it's not about being nice to you, Paul. It's just about being a better podcaster.
If you could do both those things, then and again, big time year for Kurt Angle. So we'll see what happens. By the way, I believe at this point when the show comes out, we're still up for voting for Podcast of the Year wrestling. So, guys, vote.
Please vote, everyone. You could really help us out.
It would.
Really, really need it.
You or something else. Well, Kurt, speaking of something that you really need a lot of help with, and that is picking football games. Actually, as we recorded last time, you were 18-12. You picked the Steelers and Chiefs. I have no idea how they finished, so I can't really give an update.
What was I, 17-12, 18-12?
You were 18-12 going into those two games.
Okay, I'm 20-12 now.
Yeah, bullshit. So we don't know really what your record is, but we got to go early. So for week 17, which, by the way, can you believe football regular season's almost over?
I know. I think there's only 18 weeks, right?
Yeah, there is. So this is week 17, second to last week. Who is your Angle lock and who is your Angle upset?
Well, this one was an easy one. Actually, Derek Sabato, I'm going with the Eagles over the Cards. Fly, Eagles, fly.
Okay, so that's your Angle lock. Okay, who's
and
your
my
Angle
upset is the Steelers over the Seahawks.
Oh man, you are something.
I
You're
got
going all
you,
the way.
man.
You're
I
going
can't
all
break
the way
the
down to the
cycle.
end. Yeah.
I at least have to cheer them on until they're done with this season.
Okay. So guys, just know it's funny because they're always the angle upset. You always have to pick them as the upset because they're underdogs now for every game.
I know. Like 9 of the, well, actually 10 or 11 of the games, they were underdogs. You're right.
Yeah, so that's just how it's been. All right, so last week it was Chiefs Steelers. This week it's Eagles Steelers. You're going with the Pennsylvania connection for Week 17. And with that, are you ready for Ask Kurt Anything?
Yes.
All right, deep breath. We're going to start with Instagram, a wrestling historian, our friend. He says, Kurt, you weren't expected to win the Hell in the Cell match at Armageddon 2000, which we covered a few weeks ago with all the Hall of Famers, where Rikishi got dumped off the side of the cage. He said, especially given all the odds against you, do you consider it to be your greatest victory in the WWE? Thanks in advance.
At one extent, I do, because you're talking about the 5 biggest stars in the business that I was facing at that particular time. I think that's a huge win. You had Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, Undertaker, Triple H, and Rikishi. And being able to be in the steel cage with those guys and come out the victor, I think that's a huge win. Yes.
Okay. Matt says, "Hey, Kurt Angle, I love the Angle Pod with Paulie B. Well." All right, that's cool. I'll take it. I look forward to it every week. I got 2 questions. My question is, Kurt, if you can book any match with today's stars for a match at Royal Rumble, what would that match be?
Well, it's a match that will probably never take place, but I would say Roman Reigns versus Kenny Omega.
Oh,
The world title. Now, I don't think that's ever going to happen unless Kenny Omega switches over to WWE.
He just signed another contract with AEW a few months
so
back.
it's probably not going to happen, but man, I would love to see that match.
Off track here. Did you see that he was diagnosed with diverticulitis, Kenny? He's on the shelf.
Yes, that's a shame, man, because that stuff is nasty. I mean, I remember when Brock had to go through that, and it was a long time. He waited a long time. It takes a long bit of time to get through that.
Yeah, man. Definitely thinking about Kenny Omega during this time. And wrestling's better when he's in the ring performing, Absolutely. And so obviously care about his health first. Matt says his last question, Kurt, what was your favorite Rumble that you were in?
You know what? My favorite Rumble match was Benoit 2003 Royal Rumble for the WWE title. But my favorite Rumble match, I remember when I was in it, and I believe it was in Madison Square Garden. I think it was 2002. Triple H and I were the last 2 in the ring. And I remember, losing to Triple H. And I believe he just came back from injury. And this was like his big moment. And obviously, I never had a Royal Rumble moment where I won the Royal Rumble. But, taking second to Triple H and being a part of that feel-good night because the fans went absolutely crazy, it was really cool.
Ben Jones is up next, and he also goes by the name of Ben Chioda. So, yeah.
Mike's cousin.
No, it's actually, if you want to hear the story about that, Ben Jones is from Perth, Australia. And it's been well established that Mike Chioda back in the day, prior to his permanent commitment now in relationship, he used to go out and kind of have fun with the ladies everywhere he went. And so when he told stories about Australia, we became convinced that Mike Chioda is probably Ben Chioda's long lost dad. So there you go. So now when he writes
around in the land down under, huh?
Oh yeah, just tearing it up down there. So now every time he asks a question, it's like, Mike, your son's up next, Ben Chioda. He says, what strategies, we love you, Ben, what strategies did you use to be able to help to keep a straight face during all the comedic moments that you did in your career? How the hell did you, well, we've seen the meme face, but how did you keep a straight face?
You know what, especially when I was doing the gig with Austin and the cowboy hats and all that stuff, it was really hard. I mean, we had a really difficult time getting through any take. And it got so bad that Vince, I think I told you this before.
Oh, yeah.
Vince was like, listen, if anybody laughs before I yell cut, you're getting fined $2,000. So everybody kind of started getting serious about it. Even though it was comedy, they weren't allowed to laugh until Vince yelled cut. So that really helped. I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, if I will tell you this. When we did the pre-tapes, I would break character probably 9 or 10 times in one day. And that would have been $18,000 to $20,000 fine if Vince would have fined me. So I had to straighten up and keep my composure after that, because Vince didn't want to waste any more time. He wanted to get these pre-tapes done. He wanted them done quickly.
Yeah, and what we've come to know from Kurt from the show, anything affecting the pocketbook, whether it's making more money or losing money, he's going to take very seriously.
Yes, and I've lost a lot of money.
Right.
Yeah.
And he doesn't, and he just lost some money a week or two ago on having a piano tuned. And that was the first thing he wanted to tell me about as soon as we got on air. Okay.
$400. Come on, man.
I know, man. It's a lot of t-shirts, buddy, that you got to sell. Francis Reyes has a question. What did you miss the most when you wrestled in the UK?
You know what? I will tell you this. The fans in the United States are completely awesome. But to an extent, they're spoiled. The fans in the UK, they rarely get to see us.
That's true.
WWE goes over there maybe 3-4 times a year. Maybe not even that much.
Yeah, maybe.
So here we tour every city 4 or 5 times a year. So going over to UK, it's very rare compared to USA, and the fans are just absolutely crazy.
Rabid.
I mean, the noise that comes out of those fans is incredible. It's like you feel like when you're in a 15,000 seat arena that it's a stadium of 100,000 people. That's how crazy they go. So the fans are incredible. I love going over there. I always loved going over there, even in TNA. They were great over there. I think we had an arena full of about 10,000 people the last time I went there, and it was absolutely ballistic. It was crazy.
Yeah, no, and if you're watching any shows from over there, you can feel it, the energy come through too.
Yeah, the energy is incredible.
Our buddy Dylan's up next, and he says, "Kurt, do you think CM Punk could have held his own against the guys from the Attitude Era and the early Ruthless Aggression Era?"
Yeah, I think he would have fared well. He might have gotten beat up by Bob Holly.
He might have gotten a Bob Holly shot or two, but
yeah. No. Listen, Punk has a little bit of a reputation of not agreeing with everything, But I will tell you this: he's very talented. He cuts incredible promos, and I think he would have done really well in the Attitude Era. Yeah,
man, his promo skills, love him or hate him, I'm telling you, he is.
Can't deny it. Yeah,
he's a needle mover. He is a needle mover. I mean, when I saw 2 of the 4 shirts, top sells for WWE were both his. Yeah. Come on.
He's doing something right.
Yeah. And then Dylan says, also been working out the last couple of months. I'm down 17 pounds and counting. Any tips for a huge Kurt Angle fan? Thanks, guys, man. Congrats, Dylan. That's awesome.
That is awesome, man. You know what? I want you to give me tips.
Yeah, right.
17 pounds in the last couple months. Keep doing what you're doing, man, because it's working. I mean, lose another 17 if you can. What you're doing right now, you're doing perfectly. You couldn't do any better.
Kurt, you did though. I mean, we've watched some of your stuff towards the end of your WWE run, and now what you look like. Okay, it is different. You've lost weight to keep the weight off
to get there.
But what are some of the, I know it's dried chicken, broccoli. It's like rabbit food. And then you work out every day.
In the morning, I have 12 egg whites scrambled with Pam spray. So there's no oil or butter. I have dry toast, 1 piece. And then in the afternoon, I have chicken with broccoli. And then at night, I'll have chicken with a plain baked potato. And then I have my snack at night is I get these legendary pastries. They're 20 grams of protein, 180 calories. I'll eat 2 of those babies. They're awesome. They taste like Pop-Tarts. And they're actually, I shouldn't be advertising it with all my supplements, my company, but it's called Legendary, and they have incredible tasting pastries. They're actually high protein, low carbohydrate.
All right, Legendary. Sign up, Kurt, and we'll start advertising.
Yeah, I want money for this endorsement, by the way.
Yeah. That's right. He's got a piano tuning bill to pay. So there you go. Hey, congratulations, Dylan. Appreciate it, man. And glad to hear about your weight loss. Keep it going, brother. Troy Almeida is up next. He said, your match with Eddie at WrestleMania 20 is one of my favorite matches ever. Who came up with the idea of the boot spot? Thanks for making my childhood so great.
You know what? We were on tour the week before. I believe we were in Asia. I believe in Japan. And Eddie stops me. We were going to the hotel, and I was entering my hotel room, and Eddie runs up to me because he was down the hall in a different hotel room. He runs up to me, says, "Hey, Kurt, I just came up with the finish for our WrestleMania match." I was like, well, when Eddie has an idea, it's usually pretty damn good. And when he told me what he wanted to do, I was like, holy shit, man, that's vintage Eddie Guerrero. Lie, cheat, and steal. I said, Eddie, you couldn't came up with a better finish. I mean, him untying his boot, and then I had the ankle lock on it, and it slips off, and then Eddie rolling me up real quick. What a great finish. It doesn't get any better than that, especially when you're talking about characters. Me being a heel, Eddie being a baby face, him lying, cheating, and stealing his way to victory, that what Eddie always does. It was perfect. It couldn't be any better.
So all out of the mind of Eddie Guerrero, the whole deal.
And Eddie had a great mind for wrestling. He really did. He got it from his father and his uncle, and his brother. I'm sorry, his brother and father. Yeah.
Ready for some great news during the holidays? Just last week, interest rates fell lower than they've been in months. This could be your chance to finally pay off all of your high interest rate credit cards and lower your monthly payments by $500, $600, $700, even $800 a month. But how much can you save? It's free to find out right now at SaveWithConrad.com. And you don't need perfect credit or money out of your pocket, and you even get to skip your next 2 house payments at SaveWithConrad.com.
Well, no, that's good. Casey has a fun question. Of all your matches with Jeff Jarrett, good old Double J, do you have a favorite match with him?
Well, if there was any match where I didn't get hit by a guitar, that would be my
your favorite.
Because every time that bastard hit me with a guitar, I bled. All right.
Yeah.
And it was a hard way. It was really opened me up pretty badly. So I would say, I think there was one match we had where he didn't use a guitar. And I would say that match, but I can't remember it.
You guys put on some hell of a good matches, though, when you two had chemistry.
And I worked together really well. I like working with Jeff.
Yeah. Andrew's up next. He said, any memory of competing in St. John's, Newfoundland at the Espoir World Cup?
Yes. That's the Espoir World Championships. And I qualified for that because I won the Espoir Nationals in the United States. And it was up in Canada, in Newfoundland. And I remember I wrestled this stud from Russia. He was a badass. His name was Arabat Sabiev. And he ended up a couple years after that, he ended up defecting to Germany. And when he did that, he became world champion for Germany in 1994. And I made the world team in 95, and I was scared to death because that son of a bitch beat me 8-1 at the Espoir World Championships. And then he pinned me in 32 seconds a year after that. Now I have him in the finals. I'm like, oh my God, this guy's indestructible. And what I did is I wore his ass out and I made him want to quit. He was faking injury timeouts. Oh, my knee hurts. Oh, my shoulder hurts. And I just stayed on him. And I ended up winning the match, and I became a world champion for the first time. And the next time in the Olympics, the next year, I was going to meet him in the semifinals. But the round before, he was killing the kid 8-0, and the kid reversed him and hit him with like 12 leg laces. And he ended up winning the match. And a lot of people thought that he lost on purpose because he didn't want to face me because he got so tired last time. And to be honest with you, if that was the case, that's freaking crazy. But, if that is true, that speaks volumes of how well conditioned I was.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Here again, your reputation precedes you in terms of your conditioning, Kurt.
Yeah. And you know what? He got so tired in 1995 when he wrestled me. He was literally laying on the mat on his back for about a half hour after the match. He couldn't move. And I know he didn't want to have that same feeling again. And maybe that's the reason why he did lose, because he was dominating the match he was wrestling. I just couldn't believe the kid reversed him and just leg laced him easily. It was like, wow, that was really weird. But my brothers came to me and said he lost on purpose.
Oh, wow.
And then he ended up wrestling back for third, and he won a bronze medal in the Olympics.
Andrew, who submitted this question, he knew this whole story. He said he was wrestling for the USSR. You'd wrestle him when he moved to Germany. He said, I have the match up right now. I'm watching on YouTube.
You're awesome, man.
That's pretty cool. The first Zoel Lopez is up next, and he says, Kurt, what are your thoughts on being a meme machine? I love it. He said, do you love it, hate it, or don't pay attention to it?
I hated it at first, and I thought everybody was making fun of me. And then my friend Paul Bromwell told me it's nothing to be ashamed of. This is not making fun of you. It's just you have a funny looking face.
It's funny because at the end of that original TikTok you did, you kind of made the face on purpose to make it funny.
Yeah, because I was like, are we done? Yeah.
Yeah. And so people have loved that face because it's like the perfect face that explains a lot. As you can see, memes are all for it. And, I sent you the TikTok of the one guy that kind of explained it all. You ended up following him. And I was like, man, hopefully it'll click for Kurt now. Let's take advantage of
I got in on the action. I posted one of those memes.
Oh, yeah.
It's about the genie with the 3 blowjobs.
Oh, yeah. We talked about it last week.
Yeah, last podcast. And I put, really? Come on. Like,
right.
Are you going to say that stuff?
I'm hoping it encourages more meme machines. So at first, he wasn't in on it. He was I could tell, too, his responses on text. And I was like, Derek, we got our work cut out for us. We got to show him the light. This is cool.
Yeah. I was a little depressed for a while.
I could tell, buddy. But it's all good. Nothing to worry about.
Well,
listen,
nobody knew me back then. Everybody knows who I am now, I think.
And honestly, listen, if you think about it yourself as you're a listener here, if you made the most ridiculous, dumb face that you could ever make in your life, and it became, just caught on like fire with all these quotes around it, it would kind of be tough to swallow it at first for all of us. I get it. So I totally get what you think.
Yeah,
but I'm glad
my wife kept telling me too. She's like, it's nothing to be ashamed of. This is good. I'm like, it's not good. Yeah.
No, it's good. It's just like embracing the whole "you suck" thing. Went to your music.
Yeah.
When you started
that up too, I had to suck.
Yeah, when you just embraced it and went with the "you suck," they love it. It's said in an endearing way. You suck, and that means we love you, Kurt.
Yes, you suck. You suck, Paul.
Yeah. Well, I don't feel like that's love from you, Kurt. All right. Simon Nicole 8K. Nicole is 8K is up next. He said, my question is for Kurt. During your WWE A days, did Vince ever mess with your right before going out to a match or segment? And if so, did it take you out of your game? So did he try to throw a monkey wrench at you?
All right. There was this one time. I might have told you this, Paul. Vince and I was in his room, in his office, studying a promo. And Vince was reading the show. And Vince is like really concerned about it. I look at him. He's like looking at the sheet. And he's like, Kurt, could you come over here? I need to show you something. And he was in the corner of the room. So he's showing me it. And I turn, and we're both with our backs to the corner. And I start smelling this really bad gas. And he starts laughing under his breath. He's shaking like this. Look. And I'm like, you son of a bitch. He farted and it stunk so bad. And he just wanted me to smell it. And
it's like his version of a Dutch oven.
Out there, huh?
Yeah. His version of a Dutch oven. You know what a Dutch oven is, right?
Yeah.
Farting under the sheets.
The blankets over.
That was what Vince did.
Vince gave me a Dutch oven. Yeah.
But did it rattle? Like, were you about to go out a few minutes later?
Yeah. I was like, holy shit, that stinks, man.
Right.
Well, how much protein did you eat today?
What was worse, Vince farting in your face, or what you went through with Rikishi and his?
Oh, well, no, that was straight up ass. Yeah, that was worse. Rikishi's ass in my face after he took a dump. Yeah,
right.
He didn't wipe himself. Yeah,
dude, you've really been face first in some real shitty situations.
You know what? I will say this: for an Olympic gold medalist, I was fucked with a lot.
Where you could beat all our asses if you wanted to.
Yeah, but you know what? They didn't care.
Wow.
I just laugh it off anyway. So
you didn't have that Bob Holly
reputation.
reputation. You didn't have that Bob Holly.
No, I didn't have that temper like Bob, man.
No, they're lucky.
He could light it up, man.
Yeah. C Simps 41 is up next. He said, Kurt, you won the gold medal just days after the Olympic Park bombing. How aware of the bombing were you? Did it impact your training or preparation in any way? Or were you so focused on your competition that you were almost oblivious to it?
No. Everybody knew. It was a lockdown. I mean, we couldn't do anything for a couple of days. Couldn't leave our dormitories. Couldn't go train. All we could do is go to the cafeteria. It was pretty serious, and people were a little nervous that it might happen again. So everybody was on lockdown, and everybody was scared. I mean, even the security was a little bit nervous. And so it was a really scary time. But, you know, as the United States always does, we pick up our pieces and we keep moving forward. And everybody just kind of put it behind them, and they started to enjoy the Olympics. And I think the athletes enjoyed it, and so did the fans. But that thing was a wake-up call. I mean, it really notified you that anything like this can happen at any big sporting event or any big event period. And you have to be aware of that. You just have to make sure that you do everything possible to make sure it doesn't happen.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's going to be a little concern, like, hopefully that was it, and it's not going to happen again while we're here.
Yeah, you know, and what's crazy is they didn't find that guy till like 25 years later. They found him in the mountains of North Carolina, and I don't know how they found him.
Right. His final question here is also, did you get to meet any big-time Olympians like the basketball players or gymnasts?
Yes. I met Carrie Strug, Dominic Marciano. These girls, Carrie was a chatterbox. Okay. These girls were told not to talk to anybody. So everybody thought they were like uppity girls that didn't, you know, they thought their shit didn't stink, but it wasn't them. It was their coaches and their parents saying, don't talk to any of the other athletes.
Okay.
But Carrie Strug, she didn't care. She was great. I really had a great time with her, especially on the plane when we were going to see the president. And Carrie was awesome. I got to sit next to her, and she was really cool. And I also met the basketball team, but I think I told you how I met them. I was going to the arena at opening ceremonies.
Yeah.
And I walk in, and the fans start going crazy. And I'm like, wow, they know who I am. And I'm going, hey, thank you. And I look behind me, and the dream team's right behind me, and the fans are cheering for them, not me. And it was like sobering. I was like, holy shit. Okay, put your head down.
Put your hand down.
Like you didn't know what happened.
Right. Does any of the players stick out that you met that you were like, had a holy shit moment?
Yeah. There was Michael Jordan. Who else? I believe what's his name from Phoenix? Oh gosh,
Charles Barkley.
Yes, Charles Barkley was there. Yeah, it was a legit dream team, man. These were the baddest basketball players on the planet. I mean, they when you talk about a dream team, and what's crazy is they worked really well together. And when you take superstar players like that that want to score all the points themselves, usually they don't gel well, but these guys did.
Here's just
their egos for 60 minutes.
Yeah, I looked up the roster for 1996 just to look up. Here's some of the guys that were there when you were there, Kurt. Charles Barkley, Anthony Hardaway. Remember Penny Hardaway?
Yes.
Grant Hill, Karl Malone, Reggie Miller, Hakeem Olajuwon, Shaquille O'Neal, Gary Payton, Scottie Pippen, Mitch Richmond, David Robinson, John Stockton.
It was Shaquille O'Neal. It wasn't Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Shaquille O'Neal, yeah.
Okay, cool. So you got to meet Shaq and Charles Barkley. That's pretty cool. Yeah,
it was cool. And Shaq was great. I actually saw Shaq again probably 10 years later in Cleveland. We were having a production meeting for the WWE. He sticks his head in, and he's looking around. He says, hey, Kurt, what's up? Hey, Triple H, how you doing? Hey, Vince, what's up? And Vince was pissed, like, what are you doing in my meeting?
Oh, no.
But Vince didn't say anything. You know, Shaquille just wanted to stick his head in and say hi to everybody. And he backed up. And I was like, wow, he knows my name. He remembers me.
That's cool. Did you ever get any pictures with any of these guys? And do you kind of wish that you did if you didn't?
I did with Hardaway. I got a photo with him. That was at closing ceremonies. So I did get a picture with one of them. Yeah.
That's cool. But I mean, over time, you've met a lot of celebrities. Do you kind of have like a scrapbook or memory or like a lot of pictures
No,
around the house?
I'm an idiot because anytime I should have been taking photos, I never did. And then I think of it afterward, like, what? You're a dumb son of a bitch.
Well, again, that'd be cool for your kids to see all the people that you've met. I mean,
it's just like my gear, my costume gear. I gave all of it away. I'm an idiot. Yeah.
Well, no, I wouldn't go that harsh. I mean, well, maybe sometimes. I'm kidding. Barry, MK is up next. How did Kurt like it when TNA had him hold all the titles at once?
It was a pain in the ass. That was really. Listen, I had, let me see, the world title. I had the tag team titles.
The X Division.
I had the IWGP title that TNA had me go over and win. And then I had the X Division title. I had 5 world titles, and I just was begging to get rid of them. I just wanted one, the TNA World Heavyweight title. That was it. And I don't know if I told you, but I lost to Jay Lethal, and he became X Division champion. And the company got pissed off at me because I dropped it to him, and I wasn't supposed to.
We talked about that when we had him on a while ago.
And he ended up being it. And then what they did is the next week they took it away from him to show me and show Jay, hey, you don't do that to us.
You don't make the calls, Kurt Angle.
Yeah. And it was like, wow, guys, come on. It was Jay Lethal. He's a great athlete, great wrestler. He has a huge future. He'd be great as an X Division champion. I didn't just do it just to say, hey, I want to get rid of it. I knew that Jay was capable of carrying that title.
Yeah. JJ98. Hey, Kurt and Paul, happy holidays. Hey, happy holidays to you. My question is, Kurt, who would you pick for an all-star Survivor Series team with you as captain? So Survivor Series, I believe it's 5 on 5. So you're already one of them. So you got to pick another 4 guys. And who would you go against? Who are the 5 you would go against?
You know what? I would do a WWE versus WCW.
Okay.
It'd be me, Stone Cold, The Rock, Undertaker, and John Cena.
Okay, there's your 5.
Versus Hulk Hogan, Razor Ramon, Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, Goldberg, and Steiner. Okay. I think that would be really cool.
Okay.
WWE versus WCW. Almost like the Alliance, but just 5 on 5.
But with all the stars there.
Yeah, not mixed in. Like when they did it in WWE, they had WCW mixed in with WWE, and but one against the other. Yeah.
Okay, I like it. Daniel Allen says, "Hey Kurt, besides Taker choking you on the plane ride from hell, do you have any funny backstage stories involving Undertaker? I know you kissed him on the lips too."
No, I don't, man. And you know what? One thing about Taker, he always said this to me, Angle, I don't rib and I don't like to be ribbed. So never rib me. And I never did. And you know what? He made that very clear. He said this on an airplane one time, and everybody said, okay, Taker, nobody's going to mess with you. And, but Taker was such a good dude. He was such a solid dude. Him and I got along extremely well. We were really good friends. We continue to be till this day, and we keep in touch. But I don't have any crazy stories about Undertaker besides the plane ride from hell.
Vince saved the fart and the face stuff for you, is that what you're saying?
Yes. Right. But I'll tell you this. One time, Taker, he ribbed me good. I forgot about this. It was on a plane, and I wanted to go to sleep. So somebody gave me some sleep meds, and I took them, and I had a dip in my mouth, and I passed out. And I was hanging there with chew hanging out of my mouth. There was chew juice going down my chin, and Taker goes up and takes a close Polaroid of it. And then he sends it to me by a phone.
Okay.
Sends it to my phone. I was like, you son of a bitch, don't show this to anybody. He says, Kurt, I have this in my pocket just in case anything ever occurs. When you piss me off, I'm going to send this to the media.
Like, look at your Olympic hero. Dip and chew on the plane.
Chew, just hanging down. Oh, the juice was coming down my lip.
Just looking like a slob. Yeah. Robert Rader is up next. Hey, Kurt, have you ever seen the movie Vision Quest? What are your thoughts on the movie? Do you have any other favorite wrestling movies? You and I have talked about this. Have you ever seen it?
Favorite movie?
Yeah.
Hey, that's that face again.
Yeah, there it is. Oh, I love it. I love it.
You know what? I did one called Beyond the Mat. Really good movie. I was actually in it. I was a coach. And
so this is different than the Bret Hart Beyond the Mat movie.
Yes. It was Beyond the Mat. It didn't do really well. It got released and was really, really underneath the radar. But if you could probably go to YouTube and see it, it's called Beyond the Mat, starring me and there was some really good actors from Hollywood that was in it. They were high school wrestlers that were playing as high school wrestlers. They were actually older kids. But other than that, no, Vision Quest is my movie. I mean, that's where I got my entrance music from TNA. Was Lunatic Fringe, which was a song that was on Vision Quest. I love that soundtrack. It had songs from Foreigner and
it was loaded. That's what I love about classic 80s.
It was a really cool soundtrack, but I love the movie, man. It really motivated me to become a better wrestler. That movie was like the ideal movie for me.
Beyond the Mat, a tale about two best friends, an uncensored look into the perilous world of high school wrestling and the story of a teen who overcomes self-doubt to find his true place. Starring Kurt Angle in the movie. There you go. John Wynn is in it as well. You were Coach Kamen.
I think Jonathan Kowalski.
Yeah, it looks like he's there. John Wynn, Sarah Fletcher, Mark Hapka. Coach Russell was Kevin McCorkle, but you were a coach, Coach Kamen. Yeah. So Jonathan Kowalski played Dominic Bradshaw in the movie.
I think I was his coach. Yeah.
If you can find it somewhere to watch it on some streaming platform, check it out.
It's a good movie. You like it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. There we are. So yeah, Rob, he knows all about Robert. He knows all about Vision Quest. Keith Hellebrand's up next. Who was your favorite to go one-on-one with on the mic?
Oh, The Rock.
The Rock, yeah.
He was the most exciting guy. I mean, when he had a microphone in his hand, people listened and they loved it. He was the most entertaining guy I've ever been in the ring with on the microphone. And listen, I'm not saying I compare to The Rock. I don't think I'm nearly as good, anything close to The Rock on the microphone. I think that guy stands in a class on his own. I think John Cena's up there too with Stone Cold Steve Austin, but The Rock is the man. I think he was the best promo cutter in the business, period.
I want to talk about our next questions from Keegan. And he says he's our buddy. Hey, Kurt and Paul. Before I get to his question, man, he did his wrestling event and it was fantastic. And I just want to say congratulations to you, Keegan. And we want to continue to support. And he did that event Sick Not Weak. And it's, again, if you want to donate, you can. It's canadahelps.org. And there's donations that you can make. It's all around mental health awareness. And so check it out and support our guy. He sent me some videos of his match, and Kurt, a lot of his moves. You're his hero, buddy.
The Germans.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, so, he had a good match. I mean, it has a lot of work to do, but he had a good match.
Yeah,
As much experience as he has, he did a good job.
He's gotten himself in shape over the last year, and a big fan of his. He said, in your short stint in New Japan, who is someone you were hoping to go against or wish you had faced in retrospect from that company?
The Great Muta. I think I never faced him. I faced Yuji Nagata, faced a lot of other guys there, Tanahashi, Nakamura, a couple of older wrestlers. I can't remember their names, but never faced the Great Muta.
Oh, okay. I thought for sure that you took on Muta.
only in a tag match. I think it was a 3-on-3.
Okay. I
don't think I even got in the ring with him.
Yeah. Nah, that's but yeah, no, Great Muta. I mean, come on. WWE Hall of Famer. It was cool to see him go in and WWE recognize him.
Yeah, that is cool, man. That shows what a big name he is.
Yeah. Spenny Wise is up next. What is your favorite match that you've ever been a part of?
Jeez, how many times I have to say this? Chris Benoit, Royal Rumble 2003.
Yeah.
That was my favorite match. It was magic. Chris and I were so identical. It was like I was looking in the mirror every time I wrestled him. we had such incredible chemistry, and our matches were really physical and they were really intense. They reminded me of a real fight. Okay. When you're doing pro wrestling, a lot of times matches look really clean and crisp, and it doesn't really look like a struggle. This was more like a struggle, like a fight, like we were really fighting, really wrestling. And that's what I loved about it. The grit. Yeah.
Yeah. Jay wants to know, does Kurt have a favorite ring attire that you wore for a match?
Yeah, the one where I looked like a candy cane. They were pink stripes, pinstripes. I loved it. A lot of fans hated it. I've gotten a lot of comments. I hate your damn singlet, but I absolutely loved it. It was it was red and white. It was actually pink and white, and it had a blue A on the stomach.
Yeah, you just was it because of the match you were in, or you just really love the colors and the style?
You know what? The costume lady made it for me, and I fell in love with it.
Okay. Don Stevens is up next. Does Kurt have a favorite magician? And has Kurt ever done any magic tricks with his pet bunny?
Yes, I played hide the salami with my bunny.
Hide the carrot. Hey-oh.
Hide the carrot.
Do you have a favorite magician? Are you a David Copperfield guy, or do you have a favorite magician?
Okay, the only one I ever met, and he really blew my mind, was Chris Angel.
Okay.
Yeah, I was on his show, and he scared the hell out of me. I thought he actually died. It was a really cool trick. Yeah.
And but no magic tricks yet with the bunny. Making him disappear out of the hat.
Yet, but I'm starting to, think about it.
How many bunnies?
Give me thoughts.
How many bunnies do you guys have now? Do you have a small farm of bunnies? I know Giovanna.
We have two, and they're a boy and a girl. So
are they humping like bunnies?
12 coming soon.
Okay, so they're humping like bunnies. They probably learn from watching mom and dad. Okay. By the way, what did you get Giovanna for Christmas?
Love.
Oh, okay. She was blessed with Kurt's love. Oh, great, great job.
All right, we made this Christmas so phenomenal for our kids.
That's cool.
And then we had the vacation that Giovanna and I decided not to get each other Christmas gifts.
I don't blame you.
But I got her one. Don't tell her.
Okay, this will be out after, so she's not going to hear. Okay. All right, cool. Now, do you think she broke your rule and got you something?
Nope. No, she sticks with it. She actually listens.
But you did ask for wrestling boots.
Wrestling shoes.
Shoes, my bad.
Not boots. I'm not going back to pro wrestling.
Oh, yeah, we want to squelch that rumor, but wrestling shoes. So maybe you'll get that.
Well, you know what? She knows that I want them, so she might give me them. So.
Victor Rivera is up next, and he's got a very serious question. Kurt, why did the Kung Pao flavor get discontinued from the chicken snacks lineup? That was an absolute favorite besides cinnamon swirl.
They're so different too.
I know. But
the reason why I got canceled is because it was our most unpopular flavor.
Oh,
so not a lot of people enjoy them. Maybe you did, but we did not. Most people did not enjoy them, so we canceled them.
So if you do see something get discontinued, it's because nobody's buying it besides you, Victor. But hey, well, I will say, Victor, thank you for supporting our man, and I'm glad you like them. Yeah.
But please order the cinnamon swirl. I know you like those.
Yeah. So, scoop up. Do you still have buffalo wing and pizza?
Yes. We have both of those. And we have honey mustard and cinnamon swirl.
Okay. I know you.
Honey mustard's awesome.
Okay. Keith Langley, who's on your Mount Rushmore of wrestling trash talkers? The top 4 best trash talkers that you can think of on for wrestling.
I would say The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin, John Cena.
Oh wow!
And you know what? CM Punk.
Punk. Okay. I didn't know if you would go way back and say Flair, maybe.
Oh gosh, I forgot about Rick. Yeah, put Ric Flair in there. Take out either Cena or Punk, but put Flair.
Okay.
Flair deserves to be in there. That guy was nailing people to the wall ever since he started, man.
yeah, I like it. My longtime personal close friend, Yambag Jones, has a very serious question, Kurt, and I want you to think real hard on this. Have you ever gotten slammed so hard that you accidentally shit yourself?
No, I haven't. No, I haven't. But I remember in high school, I had this teammate that was wrestling, and he pooped himself. And he said, ref, hold on. I just crapped myself. So the ref ordered timeout, and he gave him an injury timeout. You know what he did? He stuck his finger, poop, and stuck it back up in his ass.
Oh, come on.
And kept wrestling. Yes.
He shoved the shit back
shit back in his ass and kept wrestling.
That's a different take on the word shit packer.
You still take a shit, right? See,
what do you do?
Like to be his opponent.
Yeah, well, what is going on in this world?
Oh, man. Shit happens.
Yeah, literally. Yambag, appreciate the question. Can't wait to see what you come up with next time we do the show. Thanks for that. Oh, Tony,
hey, at least our show's entertaining.
Oh, I love it. Tony, will you do a video of yourself shaving your head for us?
Oh, why would I do that?
I mean, maybe Manscaped.
What would be so intriguing about me doing a video shaving my head?
I don't know. I think he's talking about this one up here. So let's keep it PG there. But I don't know. I think maybe he wants to see your technique.
You know what? Maybe I'll post one someday.
What do you use, like a skull, like the pit bull skull kind of shaver? Or what do you use?
I was using, I don't know if you ever seen the one you slide on your finger and you glide it on your head.
Okay.
It was around, it got popular for about a year or two and then it kind of died off. But no, I use a regular razor.
You bick it.
Yep. And
every day?
My wife usually shaves the back of my head because I miss a bunch of stuff.
So how often do you do it?
Every 2 or 3 days.
Okay.
I try to stay pretty clean.
Yeah, I know. I don't like the peach fuzz look either. You know, like, are you trying again? No, I'm not trying. It's gone. Okay.
Yeah.
LFC.
Yeah, you know what? When the peach fuzz comes in, you can tell where the bald areas are.
Oh, I know. It's just a dead giveaway how pathetic you actually look now. LFC MMA. Why don't you talk about your gold world championship medal as much as your Olympic gold? Each is equally awesome.
You know what? I don't know, because it actually was harder to win. And the reason is you have to qualify for the Olympics. So wrestlers go to the Asian Games from Asia. Wrestlers go to European Games from Europe. Here we go to the Pan Am Games. You have to place in the top 3 to make it to the Olympics. And when you get there, you're wrestling the best guys in the world. But in the World Championships, all right, let's just say that Kurt Angle wrestles in the Pan Ams and he takes 4th. I don't go to the Olympics. I had a bad tournament.
My goodness.
So I'm not going. But at the Worlds, everybody goes. So everybody's qualified to go. So you're going to get 3 or 4 times as many people going to the Worlds, all these different countries, and even guys that would necessarily have bad tournaments to qualify for the Olympics, they're gonna qualify anyway. So everybody's there, and you have to beat everybody in the world, and that's a lot harder than the Olympics. But the Olympics, the reason why it's so popular, because it's the Olympics and it's every 4 years, and people celebrate it more.
But no, it sounds like LFC MMA is absolutely right. That accomplishment is amazing too.
It's a bigger accomplishment, but people just don't know it because it's not advertised as much.
Nick Lenz, and he's got a great question because I'm all for it. Ask Kurt anything. Kurt, what are your thoughts on fellow Pittsburgh person Britt Baker?
Oh, Britt's doing a great job. I'm really proud of her. She's done great. I
wish we see her more. I don't think that she gets the TV time that she should be. She
deserves more. You're definitely right. But I'm really proud of her. Her being from Pittsburgh, she is representing our city really well.
Yeah, Nick says also, could she appear as a guest on the show in the future? I would love that.
Britt, yeah. Hey, Britt, if you're listening, come on the show. Please contact us.
We'd love it. We love it. And
go to the Angle Pod and say, hey, I want to be on the show.
Yeah, we'd love to have Britt Baker on the show. I'm a huge fan. I've met her a few times, and I pretty much have marked out and told her that. But yeah, Pittsburgh native first and foremost. I love seeing her at the Steeler game, supporting the Penguins, supporting the Pirates, and she cuts one hell of a promo. She's great on social media. She's entertaining as hell, dude.
Yes.
And so I think we would have a lot of fun talking about her journey and just talking Pittsburgh sports and having a great time here on the show. So Nick, we're going to continue to try to work on that and make the connection. I think it'd be great. Steve Levin's up next. I'd like to know why most wrestlers don't wipe their feet on the apron before entering the ring. This used to be something almost everyone used to do.
It was traditional. That tradition went bye-bye in about 2000. When I started wrestling back then, nobody was doing it anymore. The only people that would do is Ric Flair or William Regal, traditional wrestlers that wrestled in the past before that. But for the most part, Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Undertaker, none of those guys were doing it. So it was like, why do it? I'm following suit to these guys, and they're not doing it. So for some reason, that has gone bye-bye.
That's tradition.
No longer done. Just very, very few people do it. Usually it's European wrestlers that will do it, but I think Gunther does it, and people in his crew. But other than that, I don't know anybody else that does it.
Brad Stanton wants to know, Kurt, do you eat fries in your salad? I love it.
I don't eat fries, period. But if I did, I probably wouldn't have them in my salad. Why does it taste so good?
Well, you think about being from Pittsburgh, right? You got Permane Brothers, and they're amazing sandwiches, and you
like the coleslaw and fries, right?
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Okay. Yeah, it works. I got you.
Yeah. Now, are you a big fan of Permane Brothers sandwiches?
Yeah, but I get it without the fries or the coleslaw. I just get turkey with the bread, and I get extra turkey.
You know what, though? Back when you're not
nearly
eating
as good, Paul, but it's still
I know, but back when you weren't eating well, did you at least enjoy a little fries?
Oh, yeah. I loved it. Yeah, I ate it with the fries, too. Yeah.
Listen, I told you when I come to visit, we're going to that Sushi Bomb place or whatever. Is that what the name of it?
Sushi Bomb, yeah.
We're going, dude.
$15, all you can eat.
You better be eating some sushi that day. We're going to have some fun there and put a hurting on that. Drew Landry, who gave the better German suplexes, Chris Benoit or Brock Lesnar?
Ooh, well, I will tell you this. Brock Lesnar, when he gave the German suplexes, he would throw you and let you go. So you didn't know how you were going to land. So you could land on your head. You could flip over to your stomach. You could land on your back. It was a guess. With Benoit, he controlled it. So he would launch you, and then he would control it, making sure you land flat on your back. And then he did the rolling Germans where he would do one, and then you would get up, he'd do another, and then he'd get up and then he'd do another. But I would say Chris gave the better Germans because they were safer.
Right. And you didn't know where you were landing when Brock threw you.
No. But you know what? He was pretty good at not throwing you on your head. But a couple of times I landed all the way across the ring. It was like, whoa, hey, why am I in the air so long? Like it was, air time was 3 more seconds than Benoit's German.
Well, Billy Sandscrawl says, who are some 80s stars, wrestling stars that Kurt would like to have worked with?
Oh, man. Bruno Sammartino, Bob Backlund, Andre the Giant, Sergeant Slaughter.
What about Roddy Piper?
Roddy Piper, too. Paul Orndorff.
Yes. Paul Orndorff and Kurt Angle.
I wasn't fans of these guys back then. I didn't watch it. But when I started in it and I started watching, I was a huge Paul Orndorff fan. Yes. And he wrestled a long while before I got there. Yeah. And I just became a fan of pro wrestling, and guys like Paul Orndorff really got me excited about it.
I would have loved to seen you and Paul Orndorff. I think I shared on social media. My first ever live match as a 9-year-old Kurt was at the Philadelphia Spectrum. It was Paul Orndorff and Hulk Hogan in the steel cage was the main event.
Wow. What a great main event. Jeez. Yeah.
Pretty cool. Yeah,
especially for being 9 years old.
Yeah. Yep. And what a great time it was. December of 1986. And checking that out. Jay Martin's up next. How close was the WrestleMania 18 match between you and Sting? Was there any other WrestleMania matches pitched for that year for you for 2002? Much love, Kurt.
I was in a weird position back then. I beat The Rock for the world title, Stone Cold Steve Austin for the world title. But that year I was main event, but I wasn't quite at the world title hunt. And I was just under that. And it was like, they couldn't think of anything for me. And they came up with something at the last second. And I believe it was Kane. I'm just happy they gave me Kane because he was a main eventer too. But it was just really odd that they didn't have nothing planned for me that year. Yeah. And it was a tough pill to swallow because from the day I started, they had everything planned for me. And now it's like, oh, we ran out of people and we don't know where to put Kurt. And it was like, gosh, guys, you were running good with me for a while. And now you kind of forgot about me. So that year was that was a really upsetting year for me. Not that it was because it was against Kane. I was glad it was against Kane, but it was because they really had nothing for me. And they just threw me in there just to have a match. There was no program.
And so there was really no conversation about staying.
No. And it was really upsetting because, like I said before, they always planned stuff for me. They always had something good for me. And that year they didn't. The following year I main evented.
Yeah. 19. Yep. Brock. We got 2 more questions left and we're going to wrap it up.
I forgot about Sting. Sting was an idea. That never came to fruition. That nobody ever called Sting. It was an idea that I had, and I pitched to Vince, and it didn't go anywhere.
All right, 2 more questions left. We'll wrap up this week's show. Lauren Eason, what was it like working in New Japan from 07 to 09 and to be a part of Wrestle Kingdom 2 in the Tokyo Dome?
Oh, that was badass, man. I mean, the whole place was packed. There were so many fans there. And, the Asian fans are a little different. They don't get all rowdy. They're really well behaved, but they're very formal and they clap when they're supposed to clap. And they don't really boo a lot, but when someone's getting heat on someone because there's really nothing being said. They're just really well behaved, but they're into it. They love it. They love the sport. I mean, they probably have more of a passion for it than any other country. So being there was a huge honor, and I love performing in front of those fans, and especially being at Wrestle Kingdom 2, that was a big deal.
Yeah, that's awesome. Kurt, our final question of the show and our final little piece here for 2023. It's from 2 Count Kyle, and he says, "Hey, Kurt, I'm entered into my first Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu competition in 2024. I'm terrified. Any tips on competing, what to do on the day, how to stay in the zone, what to eat that morning, etc.?"
Oh gosh, you know what? That's a good question. You have to do what makes you feel comfortable. You eat what you normally eat. You have to go through trial and error. In other words, you've been through competitions before. You know how you feel after you eat a certain food. That has to become a habit for you. So the more you do it, the more it becomes habit, and that's what you do every single time. And so you have to trial and error. You have to see what works for you, what doesn't, what food you do, how you warm up, how you prepare for it beforehand. When you start backing off of training before your competition, there has to be a certain period of time where you have a couple days rest before you compete. So there's all these things that go along with it, and you have to just find it yourself because everybody's different and everybody gets ready in different ways. And a lot of people, it takes longer to prepare or it takes less time to prepare, but you have to make it yours.
I know you've said before, Kurt, that you're not a music guy, especially when working out. You don't listen to music. What about for days of competition? How would you meditate or keep the noise out or get your focus going in the zone for competition?
I would always have a positive frame of mind. I'd always picture myself scoring on my opponent. So it was all positive mentally thinking and what was going on in my head. Everything was positive. Everything was about winning. Never even losing never became a thought. So it was always what I had to do to win, what my game plan was. And I focused on it. Now, I did listen to music when I was in high school, and I
Okay.
loved it. But the reason I stopped doing that is because a certain person told me, hey, when you're competing, do you listen to music? I said, no. He said, then why would you listen to it while you're training? You're right about that. So that what I was able to do is bring out my best without having to listen to some great jams.
Any aids? Yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't have to listen to anything to bring my best out.
Well, guys, listen, thank you so much for all the awesome questions. And Kurt, thank you for all the awesome answers. This has been great. This has been a big year.
Usually I say thank you, Paul, but I'm going to say you're welcome.
Oh, okay. Wow. Yeah, no, it has been my pleasure and my honor to be able to host this for you guys. This Ask Kurt Anything. I want to say Happy New Year to you, Kurt. I want to say Happy New Year to all of you that have listened to this show. And we got a big year coming up for the Kurt Angle Show in 2024. And I'm excited, man. Next week, we got something fun to kick us off. So you have to see what that is. Come on back. But Kurt, man, what a year it's been for our show.
We've had so many great guests on. We've talked about a lot of my matches and my programs I've been in. I've had a lot of fun doing it, especially with you, Paul. I love co-hosting the show with you.
Oh, man, it's a great time. Listen, guys, as we wrap up this week, as we do always, again, a reminder that 25 to 54-year-old demo, no better place than right here with the Kurt Angle Show. And we want to advertise for you on behalf of your business. So check it out. Go to advertisewithangle.com and we'll do all the corny or serious ad reads that you'd like us to do, but we'd be happy to do it for you. Speaking of corny ad reads, here we go, kids. We're about to light it up at the end of the show. First of all, boxofgimmicks.com. You can find Kurt Angle Show Meme Machine, whether you're looking for stickers, whether you're looking for warm-ups, whether you're looking for t-shirts and hoodies. We've got the face that has gone viral. And you can have it too. We have, like I said, we have a guy that has it on his fridge, that picture, to motivate him to stay out of it too much. So check it out. Also follow us on social individually at Real Kurt Angle on X, also at The Real Kurt Angle on Instagram. And then you can find me at Paulie B. Well. But the show is at The Angle Pod. That's also where you can find it on YouTube. Subscribe, turn on those notifications, like. Guys, all that stuff helps. It drives the algorithm that helps other people find our show. And we are moving forward. We're headed to 70,000 soon. We want to go to 75 and keep it going until we hit that 100,000 subscriber mark. And Kurt, when we break 100,000, then we're going on to the next goal, because that's what Kurt Angle does. Okay?
Well, we made it when we get to 100,000.
Yeah, I think that'll be great. Let's talk about those smart snacks that got brought up on the show earlier. Talk about it, Kurt.
Smart Snacks Crispy Protein Bites. You're going to love them. They're delicious. We have 4 different flavors. They're all incredible. Go to physicallyfit.com to order yours. You can use the code AnglePod to get 20% off, or you can go on the website and become a lifetime member and get 20% off the rest of your life. But these are incredible. You're going to absolutely love them. The flavors are amazing, and it's high protein, low carbohydrate.
There you go. You got honey mustard, buffalo wing pizza, and cinnamon swirl. Yes, Kurt, I've memorized all 4 for your products. And then Project One Nutrition for those that need all the protein they can get, which really, guys, is all of us. It's cookies and cream, that cookies and milk that Kurt has become famous for. If you're watching on video, he's got the canister in his hands, and he's showing it to you right now.
There's a little picture of me on there.
There it is with your signature.
Yeah, Kurt Angle's cookies and cream protein. It's called American Dream Cookies and Cream Protein. I think I stole that from Dusty Rhodes.
Yeah, you did. Yeah. Copyright infringement. Yeah.
But this protein's awesome. It's the best tasting protein on the market. It really is. Cookies and cream. You're going to absolutely love it. High protein, low carbohydrate. Go to project1nutrition.com to order yours. I promise you, you're going to love it. It's really a great flavor. It really is.
There you go. And guys, finally, check out KurtAngleBrand.com. That's where you're going to find your little miniature cowboy hats. You're going to find your milk cartons, cameo videos, birthday cards, autograph pictures, and t-shirts. And yes, we heard last week he killed it on ProWrestlingTees.com. We're so thankful for that and that it's helped Kurt's bank account. But yes, check it out, KurtAngleBrand.com. Kurt, what can they find there?
The whole ball of wax.
There's the line. And that's how we close out the show in 2023. Kurt, thank you so much on behalf of your Olympic hero, Kurt Angle. This is Paul Bromwell, and we'll see you next week right here on The Kurt Angle Show.